We better figure that out. Did you hit record?
Oh, I didn't. Oh,
hit
shit.
R.
That's forgotten my down now. Hold on.
Just hit R. Just hit R. Hit R. Hit R.
Okay, hold on.
R.
Are you finished
R,
with those
R.
R's? Those R's? Are you finished with those errands?
Boom. Yeah.
Take one. Okay.
Are you ready? You gonna clap?
No, you're gonna clap.
You gonna clap?
No, you're gonna clap.
You gonna bring this up again? My hands have lotion on them, so I can't. Oh, hey, I can.
Oh, okay.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, Ayesha.
Hi, Avi.
No.
What?
We got an intro now.
Oh, shit.
Play the intro!
Action!
What are you doing here?
Mama's got the vibe, got the vibe, got the vibe, got the
Hey.
You guys like that?
I love that intro song.
That's good, right?
That's a good intro song.
I totally stole it off YouTube. The guy said it was a free beat, and that if you're gonna use it, please just put him like, what is it? Like tag him.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like Creative Commons laws put it at like if I use under 10 seconds, I don't have to do shit.
Yo, tag him.
I'm gonna tag him. Don't get me wrong, because the beat itself, he's like I didn't understand how it works for like buying the beat.
Uh-huh.
Because there was a lease, then there was an outright buy, but then there was a rental lease. I didn't understand it, and there were different prices, and they were all 3 figures and 4 figures.
Okay, never mind. Screw that.
Yeah,
Screw that.
I'm only using 10 seconds. I'm sorry.
All right, anyway.
So
What's up, everybody?
it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Welcome to the What Are You Doing Here podcast.
What are you doing here? I'm
Ayesha.
I'm Avi, and it's been
You know what?
November.
We should call it Where the Fuck Have We Been podcast.
No. At this point, people are like, "What are you doing here?"
Yo, we thought you guys left.
Yeah.
We thought you guys were gone.
No, we didn't leave. Just a lot happened. You know, we actually recorded a few, and they weren't good. They were
No,
really bad.
it wasn't even that. It just wasn't good. They were either like we talked about a subject that was way too out of date. Like we started talking about the election.
Yeah.
When we put up your Christmas tree.
Yeah. So I put up my Christmas tree, I think at the beginning of December.
Yeah.
Election season was done. Biden had won, and we talked for at least 45 minutes for just on Biden.
On Biden and Harris.
And then I
Trump
listened
and
to it
everything.
back. I was so bored.
Was
I
it?
was so bored.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't funny. Like I remember we both were like, "That's not funny."
It wasn't. And then we did your interview part 2.
Yeah.
And the camera angle cut me out.
Oh.
So it was
I
just
think
you.
mentioned that.
I was like,
yeah, I
fuck!
mentioned
I didn't even realize this the whole time. And then
Right.
we like stopped recording.
Right, but then we did post up the interview with RJ,
Yeah. The last one we did post up was RJ's interview. That was fantastic.
which is good. Honestly, if you guys haven't watched it or listened to it,
Yeah.
that's really you should, because like RJ is like Avi's cousin,
Yeah.
who's in the entertainment industry. He works in sports.
No, he did work for
Oh yeah,
ESPN.
now he works for Conan.
He
Yeah.
works for Colbert.
Colbert.
Somebody more relevant.
Oopsies.
Which, I mean, Conan, I'd still want to be on your show.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have a show? Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, so like RJ is like a really cool one.
Yeah.
Right.
RJ has so much knowledge for all this, so he helped us out, and we're still getting our bearings. And last episode was posted at the end of October, so November, December, January. Now we're in February, end of February.
Yeah.
It's been 4 months since we've actually posted an episode, recorded something. And so much has happened in 4 months.
That's true. We had the holidays.
We had the holidays.
We had the beginning of January, which was like a fucking time warp.
I got COVID.
You got COVID. That's the real reason we didn't record for a while.
That is actually the real
right?
reason.
It's like,
so all of January went to shit. So here's the story, right? I went all of 2020 without getting sick.
Yep.
Not even like
sick. You didn't even take a test.
No, not even sick. I mean, I didn't even get a cold.
Yeah.
Usually every single year, because of my ear problems, I get an ENT infection, right? I get some sinus infection or something like that. I got sick once last year in 2020, right after I came back from Mardi Gras for a solid 2 days.
Oh, right, and you came back from Mardi Gras in the beginning of March, so a year ago.
Yeah.
So right when the pandemic was starting to, start brewing.
And it was a 2-day sickness. I didn't even get sick. It was just like, I feel weird. and then I
Yeah.
drank a shit ton of
But
water.
you thought that was just because you went to Mardi Gras.
No, it probably was.
It probably
Dude,
was.
Mardi Gras is disgusting. I liked it a lot.
Probably wouldn't go back. Would you go back?
I would. No, you know what? No. Okay, so the reality is, and we're skipping like we always do. The reality is, though, I would go back to New Orleans, not to Mardi Gras, but I would go back for Jazz Fest. There's apparently, I asked somebody there when we were there. There is a different festival every single week of the year. There are 56 festivals that happen in New Orleans, big to small. Mardi Gras is the biggest. Second biggest is Jazz Fest.
Okay.
I've seen pictures and videos of Jazz Fest. Yo, that shit looks dope. It's so chill. Nobody's going crazy. I mean, I wouldn't mind, the flashing, but it's okay, if you know what I mean. Yeah, exactly. But I do want to go to Jazz Fest. That'd be a really cool experience.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd do I think they have a seafood fest and shit like that.
Oh,
I like seafood a lot. Don't get me wrong. I don't think I want to go to a festival for it though. I don't care enough. Anyways, point is, that was the last time I got sick.
Yeah. And then weeks later, we went down into a lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weeks later, we went down to lockdown. I'm still jobless, so if anybody's employing, let me know.
Yeah,
I'd love
seriously.
to get a job at this point.
Yeah.
I kind of just...
Colbert.
Hey! Anyways, so what happened was, I went all of 2020 without getting sick. 2021 hits, and basically what happened was, my dad lives in North Carolina.
Right.
For work.
Right.
He comes back once a month to Illinois, be with the family and shit like that. He had slated that at the beginning of December. He said, "I'm coming back a week before Christmas. I'm going to stay through Christmas, and I'm going to leave at the end on the 27th." That.
Oh,
That
so
works.
he was supposed to leave before New Year's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's either one or the other. He only spends one or the other with us.
Right.
So, apparently, this is the beginning of December. This is why this theory is a little wonky. This is why it gets a little murky here. Right at the beginning of December, he came in contact with other people that had tested positive for COVID.
Right.
So when he came in contact for it, he called me up. He said, I came in contact. I'm going to get tested, but regardless of the results, I'm canceling my ticket. I'm not going to come until...
This is when he was coming
This
over
is when
Christmas.
he was... Right. This is when he's coming over Christmas. He's like, but regardless of the test results, I'm canceling my ticket and I'm changing it to New Year's now. I'm going to come on January 1st.
Okay.
Okay,
That
cool.
makes sense,
He tested negative.
yeah. Okay.
7 days later, he went and tested himself again.
Uh-huh.
Another negative result.
Okay.
So we're like, all right, dope.
Okay, so it can't be that whole incubation thing.
Yeah, so I'm assuming
So it's got to be a solid negative.
Right.
Okay.
I'm assuming it is, right?
Uh-huh.
But people say there's a 14-day incubation period. You never know. So maybe
Right.
he missed it by a week and then he got... Anyway, so
Maybe,
the point is, the week... No. He couldn't have, because even a week after that, which was still in the middle of December, which was Christmas, he wasn't sick. He didn't get sick at all of December.
Yeah.
The weird part is that usually his flight is directly from North Carolina to Chicago, right? It's a small Airbus, goes straight from to NC to Illinois, and unfortunately, for some reason, his shit got canceled, or the flight got canceled. Our weather was bad, their weather, something like that, and so he had to pick another flight. Now, this flight was a giant-ass Airbus, going from North Carolina down to Dallas first, stop over in Dallas for 4 hours, and then up to Chicago. We're assuming something along the lines happened there.
Right, because Dallas hasn't been the great. Texas in general hasn't been the greatest.
Exactly.
For COVID or for apparently snowstorms.
Well, Dallas-Fort Worth is a gigantic airport. I can attest to it. I've been there before. And we're assuming somewhere along the lines he got sick there. Sure enough, 3 days later he came back home and he's like, yeah, I'm not feeling good. And then sure enough, 4 days after that, I'm like, I'm not feeling good.
Right.
And nothing to worry about, really. It was a light strain.
Wait, so you also, it's not just you and your dad, your mom and your little brother.
So mom and brother actually tested negative.
Right.
Mom was sick for all of 2 days, but she tested negative. Brother went and got tested negative. I'm assuming my brother's asymptomatic because he didn't get any symptoms. Mom claims she had... Everybody had different symptoms. That's the crazy part about it. Mom claims she had aches and a chill for a day. 1 day. After that, she was okay. And my brother can attest to it because I obviously don't live at home. So I had to keep... I had to keep tabs. Like, is she lying? Is she lying? He's like, no, she's legitimately okay. Like, she's fine. Mom works from home, so she's not interacting with anybody.
Okay.
And then Ayesha didn't get anything. But then
but
again,
Ayesha also has to go into work too.
Yeah, but my brother goes from work to directly his room. That kid doesn't do anything in between.
Yeah, that's very like.
I have a hilarious picture.
Isn't he 19?
He's gonna be 19 on Saturday.
Okay, exactly. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see that's why, because he's 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I have a hilarious photo I gotta show you. I went home a couple of days ago, and I'm like, hey mom, what's going on? She's like, hey, I missed you, haven't seen you in a while, whatever, blah blah blah. And I'm like, where's Ayesha? She's like, he's upstairs studying. He's upstairs in a class. That's what she said. He's upstairs in a class. So I listen, and sure enough, I hear like an audio of something playing. I'm like, okay, but he's probably in a lecture. So I go upstairs to go do something in my old bedroom, and as I'm passing his bedroom, this kid is passed out like this, with the audio playing on his phone right here, with a blanket over him. And I'm like,
what a great freshman year.
I'm like, Ayesha.
You're saying Aishaban.
Ayesha.
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't respond. So then I walk into the room, and he jolts awake. And before he jolted awake, I took a photo of him. I'm like, this is your studying? And then when I told my mom, this kid has the audacity to say, I was listening, okay? It's just seminar. I didn't need to be there, but I listened to the entire thing. I just had my eyes closed. I was tricking you. I'm like, no, the fuck you weren't.
Oh my god.
I used to be in college at one point.
Yeah, we all know those shit.
We all know that shit.
Don't lie.
Yeah. Yeah, I got COVID. That's at the end of the day.
Yeah, what was your
my symptoms were, honestly, we all had a really light strain. My dad, I should say, we got a really light strain is what happened, because I've heard really bad stories.
Yeah.
I've heard
There's
really
people
terrible people that just,
yeah.
like, can't make it in their house, so they have to go to the hospital and shit
right,
like that.
They're out of commission for like
right.
For a while.
My symptoms were, for the first 2 days, I had I had a sore throat and a fever, but it was nothing crazy. But the next 5 days were ruthless, because I had such bad nausea that I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. It wasn't letting me sleep. And the only thing I could keep down was really ice cold water. And I don't usually take ice with my water. It's really ice cold water and apples. So within 5 days, and then maybe a residual 2-3 days after that, so we'll say 7 to 8 days, and then the 2 days for the fever, right? That puts me at about 11 days. I lost 11 pounds.
Yeah.
I was at the lowest weight I have been in like 15 years.
Yeah.
And it was just the worst feeling ever, because not only was it nausea, my head was constantly spinning too.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sleep anymore.
You told me that like either your head was hurting or you got nauseous, or your head was like it was like an endless cycle, right?
One of two things. Yeah.
If one thing was happening, the other one was. Yeah.
Well, the major headache happened the first day. The major headache I woke up with, and the sore throat, and the fever, that told me I got COVID.
Yeah.
So immediately I went and got tested, and sure enough, it came up positive 2 days later.
Yeah.
And that's when I quarantined for the next
you quarantined
20
for
days.
Oh yeah, you quarantined for a while.
I quarantined for 20 days because one, nobody's available, right? Everybody's chilling at home, they're working, stuff like that. And two, I mean, you have to quarantine for 14 days. Now this was beginning of January. I still don't have my sense of smell back.
Yeah, but you didn't lose your sense of smell or taste until a couple days in, from what I recall.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. That's when it really hit me that, oh shit, I do have COVID. Because that symptom has been the only, like...
lasting.
No. That symptom has been the only common symptom in every single COVID patient that I've ever talked to.
Yeah.
I lost my sense of taste and smell.
Yeah.
And I've never lost my sense of taste and smell except when I was on some really fucking strong antibiotics one time. But it was because of the antibiotics. And then 2 days after I was done with the antibiotics, everything came back.
You got it back, yeah.
But like I said, I went to my parents' house a couple of days ago, and my mom has a fresh thing of flowers that she got. And Dad sent them for Valentine's Day. Ladies.
Oh, this is
Men. Learn something.
Because you went home for Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
so did you get them?
Yeah.
Right.
No. So my dad always sends them, and then me and my brother buy our own bouquets for her.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I know she loves chocolate, so I buy chocolate
Nice.
as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I smelled the flowers,
Mm-hmm.
but very lightly. And my mom and my brother both said, this is a very strong smell. Like, it's the entire kitchen is smelling right now. I'm like, well, I smell it, but I don't smell it like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to tell you. So it's coming back. Most of my taste is back. But it's really wonky. Like, I know what I can and can't taste.
Well, also the thing that you told me that you had, that I told you, like, I've heard from other COVID patients, is you had the smell of chlorine or the taste of chlorine.
Oh, dude, that was nuts. Honestly, because I looked up that fucking fact, and that's apparently like coinciding with strokes.
Oh my god! Are you shitting me?
It's like a burning smell or chlorine smell. But then I looked it up and I was like, do COVID patients smell chlorine? And Google said, yeah.
Well, yeah, there was a thing, like, I've seen, like, I think it was back in the summer, or maybe even later, like, I was on this thread on Twitter that said, like, you know, if you've had COVID and, like, you got rid of it, what are some of the symptoms that you found that haven't gone away yet? Majority of people have said taste of smell, or, like, taste and smell and everything. Other people have said that their lips are consistently chapped.
No, that's the thing, I could only take down water, so there was nothing dry. You know, and I just set up this humidifier for the first time this year, so it's been a pretty decent for that kind of stuff.
Well, but also people have said things like that, or like they still get headaches. And then the other thing that I mentioned that was super bizarre to me was the chlorine thing.
How bizarre.
Like, yeah, like, how bizarre. How bizarre. Dude, don't stop. TikTok has ruined my life. I've told you this.
Dude, I deleted TikTok. I gotta
well,
tell you.
Dude,
I told you my TikTok thing, right?
You deleted TikTok when everyone started downloading TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, no, but I was gonna say, like, for all you those that don't know, I'm still working, and like my boss likes to use the word bizarre all the time. So in my head, like, he'll say bizarre, and I'll just be, and like, I've been so tempted so many times to be like, how bizarre.
You work in corporate America. Stop it.
I work for a bank. Like, I shouldn't.
You work for a large bank.
I know.
Not a small
I work
bank
like
either.
Like, we're not talking about just like your local neighborhood.
Yeah,
bank.
you're
No,
not a teller, girl. You're in corporate.
Yeah, we're talking about a global bank.
And you want to quote TikTok to the guy. I'm pretty sure he'd be cool with it though.
What are they gonna do?
Fire.
Should we find out?
Should we find out?
No.
Find out next time when Ayesha gets fired.
No, stop
comes
it.
to unemployment
Stop
with
it.
me.
Don't put that out in the world. Stop.
Oh my god. Okay.
One of us needs to work.
That's true. That's another thing that's been getting to me lately.
What?
Manifesting.
Oh, I've been through that entire phase. I stopped it. Actually, you know what's funny? So the other thing that we did in quarantine is we both decided 10 years later to watch Entourage.
Oh yeah, that's our second show we're on. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Entourage is such a good show.
Oh, I finished it. I blasted through it because I don't have a job.
And I started it before him, and he's still.
I even watched the movie.
Yeah, you watched all 8 seasons.
Yes.
Well, technically it's 9 seasons, right?
Is it 9 seasons?
Because you have to. Season 3 is like 2 seasons technically.
Oh yeah.
So you went through all 9 seasons plus the movie. Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh my god. I always wanted to watch Entourage.
Right.
I told you this, right?
Yeah.
I always wanted to watch Entourage, but because HBO has such tight rights to it, they don't put it out anywhere. There's no such thing as like Netflix has it or anything like that.
Yeah, actually, I was telling one of my friends to go watch it, and they were like, "Oh, where is it on Prime Video?" I'm like, "No, dude, HBO."
Dude, HBO.
And like, no, I think it's on Prime. I was like, "Okay, you can try to look for it. It's not."
The other thing is, though, the weird part about it is HBO is very selective as to what they're so tight-fisted about because The Sopranos is on Amazon Prime.
That's probably oh, you know, that's
It's
what
weird.
they told me. That's what they literally told me. Like, oh, but The Sopranos is on.
Yeah, but The Sopranos, that was weird because I remember I downloaded The Sopranos off of like bootleg bullshit and watched The Sopranos through there. I think. How did I watch Sopranos? There was some way that I watched The Sopranos all. Oh no. Before you gave me your HBO, Sugar Mama, before you gave me your HBO, my other friend had given me his HBO. And I watched The Sopranos through that 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Right when I moved in here, he was like, yeah, dude, I got HBO. Do you want it? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want HBO. Holy shit. Right when, like, HBO Go started. And he gave it to me. I watched Sopranos, stopped watching. I got, like, 3 episodes into Westworld. Then I had to stop for some reason because I'm working and I'm traveling at the time.
Oh, yeah, and with Westworld, you have to actually pay attention.
Yeah. And then I came back, and it was gone. I messaged him. I'm like, yo, what happened? He's like, yeah, I was seeing the girl, and she stopped it because I broke up with her. I'm like...
no, you saw it HBO this year. Like, I remember we watched Harry Potter on HBO.
Oh yeah. So that
So he ended up getting it back.
Yeah. He ended up getting it back, but then it got canceled again because he's like, I didn't pay for it because I wasn't watching anything on it. I got done with Game of Thrones, and then I want to start all these other shows, but I don't have time. I'm like, but I wanted to watch it.
Yeah. And then I don't know why I all of a sudden just like got inspired to like get HBO.
Dude, there's so many movies. Like I'm okay. So I also watched. I'm a huge anime fan. And our friend Syra is going through the IMDb Top 100, right?
Right.
And one of the movies on there is it's a Studio Ghibli movie, right? So the Studio Ghibli is an anime studio that makes all these really feel good family movies, and they're world renowned now because they've been translated in like hundreds of different languages, and they're very good for kids, and they're just like very feel good movies. So one of the movies was Spirited Away, and Spirited Away was fantastic, and apparently HBO has full rights to Studio Ghibli's movies, so they have all the movies on there.
Oh shit!
So I'm about to blast through those, you know, and then Snyder Cut just released, Justice League Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that. Very disappointed in Wonder Woman 84. Not happy about that. Wonder Woman 1 was fantastic.
That's the thing. When I got HBO, I was like, all right, well, I have this. I might as well like give you one. And then the day I told you, like, I'm gonna watch Wonder Woman. You were so excited.
Right, and I didn't watch that movie until the day it was going off the air.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you gotta watch it.
4 hours before it was going off the air.
Yeah.
I got done with it, and I'm like, that wasn't worth it.
It wasn't.
I was very upset about that. Yeah. But, what are you gonna do? Gal Gadot's hot. Whatever. But that's about it.
She was on Entourage.
She was. Dude, it's so weird.
For a very small portion
One
of time.
episode, right? Yeah. She was just one of the Vince's fangirls.
Yeah, I just watched that episode. Yeah, it's at the beginning of season 6.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm on season 6, everybody. Everyone's paying attention.
I'm not ruining it. I haven't ruined anything yet.
Don't. I ruined everything for you.
You did, actually.
Yeah, I don't need you to ruin it. Someone else ruins it for me.
No, I'm not going to ruin it. But fantastic show, dude. It's so good. It's it's such, like, the first season, though, they really come off as huge douchebags.
Yeah,
like, oh my god.
Like, season 2, they, like, definitely become, like, better characters.
Oh, 100%. Like, you know what it is all of these shows, I don't think they do it anymore now. I think now they do pilot episodes. But back then, for a while, they would give you a script to the studio. They'd be like, this is fantastic. How do you want to do this? And they would do one solid season. Yeah,
I was going to say, they have pilot seasons.
Correct.
Even in the show. So, for those of you that don't know the show is just about, like, it's a group of 4 guys. One of them is an actor in Hollywood. Yep. And it just shows, like, it's a dramatized version of what happens in Hollywood. Right? Yeah. But it's a comedy. And it's super funny. Like, it's a good show. It's funny. It's really interesting to see how these things work. But the reason I brought it up is because one of the characters, Kevin Connolly, right?
Love Kevin Connolly.
Kevin Connolly does such a great job in every role.
Yes.
Yeah, in every role. Even in, like, he's just on That Into You. He plays such a good
Yeah, I was like, I've seen this guy somewhere else before, and I hated that movie because you made me watch it. But I hit the camera thing right there, real quick.
Where?
There's a red button on the back. Tap it. There you go. Okay. And I'm gonna check these 2 cameras real quick. That's recording, and this is not recording. That's annoying. So the wide angle just didn't record, I guess.
It didn't? Either
it did and it didn't get us, or whatever. I hate technical difficulties. We need new cameras.
I'm like the CFO to you. That's all anyone cares about the CFO. They're just like, give me money.
Yeah, give me money, Ayesha. Fuck you. You're so exhausted.
Exhausted for people asking for money.
Anyways, Kevin Connolly is fantastic. And I hated that movie. You made me watch that movie.
You watched that? That was literally the first movie recommendation I've ever made to you. That was
back
in the beginning of quarantine.
Awful.
And I was just like, this was one of my favorite movies when I was in high school. Like, I saw it in theaters. I really liked it. I thought it was really funny. It was like, it's like one of those movies. It reminds me a lot of like the movies like New Year's Eve or like Valentine's Day. Those movies where like somehow every single character is connected. Like, it's like a web of characters. Right?
Yeah. It's like, what is it called? Ensemble cast.
Ensemble cast.
Ensemble cast. Yeah,
exactly. Right.
Such
so like
big, giant...
Kevin Connolly's in it. He plays a real estate agent who's in love with Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
And he's just like, he's always trying to get with Scarlett Johansson. It's just not working. Right.
Yeah.
Kevin Connolly does such a good job in that kind of role as a professional,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
In the show, and this is where I'm getting back to it. In the show, Entourage, he plays Adrian Grenier's manager, essentially. So, like, the Adrian Grenier character is Vince, like Vince Chase, right?
Yeah.
So, like, he tries to make his own management thing,
Correct.
and, like, he tells his other client, oh, let's hope we get picked up for season 2. Because they had made an entire season 1.
Yeah.
And his client, I mean, not in the show, but his like, the actor of the client was Bow Wow!
Yeah.
First of all, that's why I was like,
I didn't know that.
When they were talking, I was just
That
like,
never
this
popped
is
up.
fucking Bow
This is
Wow.
Bow Wow. Holy
Bow Wow.
shit, dude.
Which is so funny because T.I. was T.I.
Yeah.
Kanye was Kanye.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige was Mary J. Blige.
Dude, when Kanye popped up in that scene, my mind was blown.
Dude.
You know what? But at the same
and I'm
time,
like, 50 Cent is in it too.
that shit was hilarious.
Oh my God.
He's like, "What's up, Curtis? You
Curtis."
driving your daddy's Ferrari?" And that's a gift. That's a very popular gift.
Honestly,
Of
dude,
laughing
it's
and
so
driving away
funny.
50 Cent. If you know the gift I'm talking about, laughing, driving, I'm gonna post it right here.
Yeah.
Watch this gift. But basically, that's another thing that I wanna bring up. The reason why I like Entourage so much is because for its time, it was really current.
Yeah.
They made sure they put all the references in right there, from the cars
To the music.
to the tech.
Yeah.
Because
oh my
when
God, they went from razors. He used to have a razor, and then he
went
ended
from
up having a
razors
BlackBerry.
to Blackberries, and Blackberries were hot. Everybody had a BlackBerry, and then a
And
little
then later
further
they
down,
get
they're gonna get iPhones.
Oh my
yeah,
God, that's
the
amazing.
3GSs.
Yeah, and dude, actually, I just passed the episode where like Vince is by himself, and he's like, "Hey man, have you heard about this thing called Facebook?"
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then before Turtle's trying to make a party, he's like, and Drama's like, "Where'd you meet these girls?" And he's like, "MySpace." And
Yeah.
I'm
Oh my
like,
God, you're right.
yes,
You're right.
exactly.
Yeah.
But to me, the best part were the cars, though, right?
Yeah,
Vince bought
this-
4 Aston Martins for his friends,
Uh-huh.
and they're all DB9s, which in the moment, in that year, they were the it car
Yeah.
for Aston Martin. They were like right off the production line, they bought them.
Uh-huh.
So the Ferrari, same exact thing. So like all the cars are recent. They're not like these older, like 3-year-old cars or anything like that. They're all recent. The only time that they fucked up on the car was the Rolls Royce that Vince bought in season 1.
Okay.
And
Oh
that
yeah,
was,
that was really early.
yeah, and that was an old Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
He didn't buy a current one.
But
I'm glad he returned it. So,
Oh, yeah,
but we're getting
spoilers,
too far
spoilers,
into it.
yeah.
But if you
no,
haven't,
it's a great show.
yeah, but if you haven't watched it by now, I mean, it's been like an entire decade that the show's been over.
Okay, we will say it's worth it.
100%.
It's worth it because, like, I told you, like, so I have people remember I have a shit ton of older siblings. I'm the youngest child, and if you didn't know that, how could you not know that? My personality literally exudes youngest child energy. And so, like, so my brothers are all significantly older. So, like, when I was younger, the show originally comes out in 2005.
What movie?
The show.
Oh, yeah.
I think the show originally comes out in 2005. I think I was literally in 7th grade when the show came out. Yeah. And I think I was graduating high school when the show was over. And then I think I was somewhere in college when the movie came out, right? Yeah. So, like, even though, like, the later it got, the more I could have understood, like, I could have taken part in it, I just never did. Right. But growing up, all I heard in my family was Entourage. So, like, that's around the time that a lot of my brothers started getting married, and they all started, like, moving out of the house on their own. And so that was the thing that they, you know, like, that's when they started binge watching. And you have to remember, binge watching back in the day was not Netflix, without streaming. They would buy the fucking DVD sets and watch them all through. And that was the first show that all of my brothers had binge watched. Yeah, like, some of my brothers didn't watch The Sopranos. This again, like, you know, everybody had binge watched, like, Game of Thrones later, but Entourage was the one. Entourage and Friends were the 2 shows I remember growing up. Right. And, like, obviously Entourage was on HBO, so it's hard to see all the time. Yeah. But I saw Friends, like, every day of my life, right? Right, yeah.
But Friends was also regularly on reruns.
Exactly. So, like,
a show like Entourage isn't
it's never been played again, right?
Yeah, no.
So that's why I never saw it. And so, like, I had this like, I don't know why I thought Entourage was gonna be, I guess because it was on HBO, I thought it would be like a Sopranos. Right?
Really drama.
Yeah, I told you. I thought it was going to be a dramedy. A situational drama. Dude, Shut up. No. Shut up. Anyway, I thought it was going to be a drama, right? And then, like, you watch, and the whole reason I watched this is because when I got HBO, somebody had bullied me into watching Entourage.
Really?
They would be like, not bully. Bully is a strong word, but every day they'd be like, why aren't you watching Entourage?
Yeah,
Why aren't you watching? Because they love Entourage.
Yeah,
And they would just be like, listen, you have no excuse not to watch it because, number one, you're working from home. But number two, like, each episode is like 30 minutes long. There's not more than 12 episodes a season, and there's only 8 seasons. Like, you could very easily get through this. It takes the same amount of time to watch Entourage as it does to watch The Office.
So that was my gigantically huge misconception. I'm so used to HBO shows being an hour long.
Yeah.
That I thought, holy shit, 8 seasons, every episode's an hour. If there's 12 fucking episodes a season, like, oh my god, I'm gonna be on this forever. Number 2, my original thought of Entourage was that it was a mockumentary.
Oh, kind of
Just
like
like
The
The
Office
Office.
and Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was a mockumentary of somebody following them around a camera and like.
Oh, I'm so glad it's not.
I'm glad it's not either, but Entourage is a loose depiction of Wahlberg's life.
Yeah, it's very loosely based on
Did you
Mark
look this
Wahlberg's
up?
life. No, someone told it to me.
Okay.
And then, like, also because he's one of the executive producers.
He's on
but
the
also,
show.
yeah, that's the
I
thing.
love
Like,
it.
so there's like as the show gets more and more, the show keeps going on.
Yeah.
The number of cameos increases steadily,
Yeah, oh,
right?
yeah.
Because that's the other thing you mentioned. It's very current, up to date. Like
100%.
majority of the celebrities are actually celebrities. Like
Correct.
Jessica Alba's in it. She's Jessica Alba. Mandy Moore. Kanye
Scarjo.
plays Kanye. Scarlett
Yeah, Scarjo.
Johansson. Like 50 Cent is Curtis. Like
With the football player.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
I think someone told me LeBron James is in it.
Gronk was in it.
Oh yes,
Gronk was in it when he had
yeah.
when he broken his actual hand
Oh right. Yeah.
while playing football, and
Right.
he was still in the episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. And like it's funny because like when Tom Brady's in it, they're boys. The show takes place in LA, but the boys are all from New York. So they're
Yes,
Giants fans,
yes,
right?
yes,
so like
yes, yes,
the episode
yes.
with Tom Brady, there's a lot of hostility.
That shit was
'cause that
hilarious.
Tom Brady was a
He's like, I'm
Patriot.
gonna go tell Tom Brady to go fuck himself.
No. I'm gonna tell Tom Brady he sucks balls.
Yeah. I mean, you're from New York. You're a Giants fan.
You
You
know-
got it. You have an obligation.
You know, I'm gonna tell him he sucks twice. Once for you, once for me.
I love that shit, dude.
Oh god,
Tornado's so funny.
it was. Oh my god, Jerry Ferreira, he's so hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was I saying? Right, so it was all very. What was I saying? I forgot.
It's very current.
It was very-
up
it was
to
very
date.
current, it was very up
They
to
do a
date.
great job of it. If you haven't watched Entourage, final
recommend
plug,
it.
definitely
it.
get on it because you will not be disappointed. The first season, they come off as douchebags, but for some reason, I really got into it.
Oh,
And then
this is
after
what I was
that-
gonna say. Now I remember what I was gonna say. Yeah, so sorry to like bring this back
Yeah.
up, but like the number of cameos and it increases as
Yes.
the show goes on.
Yes.
But Mark Wahlberg makes a cameo in every single season.
Oh, that was one thing I wanted to say. You know what's crazy?
What?
And this is my opinion. He literally has the best acting out of anybody in that entire show.
Oh, dude, he does.
He acts. I don't know what it is. Maybe because he's acting as himself. He doesn't give a fuck.
Right?
Just the lines he says and the way he says them are so quick-witted, sharp,
Right,
and like
like-
it's like I'm actually there for a real-life convo. There's no cameras. There's no mics. Nothing.
Yeah.
He's just.
Like-
Wahlberg kills his 2-minute cameos that he does.
Yeah, I just
And I
passed.
love it.
I just passed the episode where Wahlberg is playing golf with everybody.
Yeah.
And he
yeah.
goes up to Kevin Dillon's character.
Yeah.
Who's Johnny Drama, and he's like, "I'm never playing golf with you again, Johnny Drama."
They're
Like,
playing again with drama.
I was just like, "Yeah, what the fuck? Like, you're right."
Damn it, drama.
Even
you're
the
making me
first
seem like an
episode,
idiot.
they're like walking through a movie
Yeah,
set,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's just like, "Yo, Johnny Drama, you owe me $10 or something."
Yeah.
Like it's Mark Wahlberg does such a good job
Yep.
in that cameo. Like he kills it. Also, like Kanye was such a surprising cameo.
Dude, okay, so I have a beef with that a little bit though.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a cop out in a sense. That scene.
Oh yeah, because the whole conflict that led
So
up to that.
basically, and like I said, it's been a decade since the show's been out. So go fuck yourself if you haven't seen it yet. But
I
basically,
mean, it's
what
not that
happens
crazy of
is
a storyline.
it's right at the end of the episode where they're like, "Hey,"
It's this huge conflict, right?
they're basically trying to get to Sundance.
Yeah. Oh no, they're trying to get Cannes.
Oh, is it Cannes?
It's
Okay,
Cannes,
I
yeah.
thought it was Sundance. They're trying to get to Cannes,
Mm-hmm.
but the flight that they booked can only seat 5 extra people, and they have 6. And so Vince says,
Oh,
everybody flies
also,
or nobody flies.
There's like this once in a lifetime terror activity that's happening in LAX.
Oh, right,
So
right,
they
right.
literally can't get another flight. It's
Correct.
So they're literally deciding who to. It's Survivor.
Right.
It's who are they voting
So
on?
they're like,
Yeah.
you know what? Everybody else go. They're like trying to figure out, but Vince, the main character,
Yeah.
is like, everybody flies or nobody flies. And then we think everything... It's like literally 2 minutes left in the episode.
Yeah, exactly.
2 minutes left. And
happen?
then next thing you know, Kanye fucking West walks out.
And he's like,
and
hey,
he's
Turtle!
He's like, hey, Turtle, what's up? Oh, Kanye. What? They're dapping up like they're old homies and shit. Like they know each other from like fucking playground and bullshit like that. And he's like, yo, you going to... where you going? They're like, we going to...
we going to London. He was going to London.
We going to London. He's like, can you drop us off in Cairns? He's like... I don't know. Can we? It's a fucking Airbus. Like 90
dude,
people
it's like
can fit
legit.
in
It's like a
thing.
Boeing 500 or something.
It's huge. And Kanye's line was hilarious. He's like, all right, guys, I've only taken one flight class, but I'm going to take this motherfucker off the ground. I'm joking.
It was so good.
We got some old motherfuckers here who know what the fuck they doing.
Yeah, dude, I remember that moment. I was like, I miss old Kanye.
I miss old Kanye.
I miss the old Kanye.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
And, I mean, that's another thing that happened. Kanye and Kim are getting divorced.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
I hope that this
well,
debacle...
you heard the whole thing with like who he supposedly had an affair with, right?
That's not real.
That's not
not
real.
real.
I have no
Jeffree
idea.
Star came out with a statement saying, "I don't know them like that.
Okay,
it doesn't work like
after
that."
he fucking teased the fuck out of it, like he sent a picture of some mountains and he was like, "I'm in Wyoming," or something, and then he said something about Sunday service.
Yeah.
And then it was just all he like literally teased the fuck out
Keep
of
talking.
it.
I'm gonna check this camera.
Okay, he teased the fuck out of it just to end up going back and be like, "No, I don't do that. I didn't do it."
All I know is, at the end of the day, two things. One, apparently there's a secret out there. I don't know if it's a secret room or whatever. A lot of movie stars that aren't working too much, that are doing philanthropy work or whatever, they're moving to
Like him?
No, like DiCaprio
okay.
or Ashton Kutcher and stuff like that. They're moving to Wyoming. There is a statistical fact is Wyoming has the lowest population in the entire country.
Because it's not real. Okay, fine. Sorry, very small.
Y'all
story.
don't exist. According to Ayesha,
small story.
Wyoming's not
No.
real.
Small story. So like, I think I was going to Colorado and I said something about Wyoming to our friend Syra.
Yeah.
And Syra's like, Wyoming doesn't exist. I'm like, what? And she's like, no, seriously, look it up. And mind you, Syra's a very smart girl.
Yeah.
She was very much kidding in that moment. But I'm like, okay, I'll look it up, girl. I'll look it up.
No fucking way.
There is a legitimate group. There is a group of people that just flat out disagree with the fact that they just question the entire existence of Wyoming.
No.
They're like, no one's ever been there. And like we're like, all right, well I'm in here now. No, that's just Colorado.
That's still it's just
Colorado.
extended Colorado.
Exactly. And I'm just like,
I mean,
what?
I think to round it out, they couldn't make it 49 states, so they were like, all right, we'll do.
Well, it was 49 states for a long time before we got like Hawaii. When did we get Hawaii?
I don't know about that. They're asking all the wrong questions right now. But all I know is
I'm gonna look up all this information.
Wyoming has the lowest population and the most amount of like open land like that, right? So you can
it's also
buy
still part of the Rockies. So
right,
yeah.
and so you can buy like a solid 400 or 500 acres and have it all your own. So a lot of these stars, like Kanye, have moved to Wyoming, and like Kanye when he ran his presidential thing, it was out of Wyoming. Yeah. So. He's not the only one though. That's the thing. Okay. Everybody thought he was crazy for doing that. He clearly he was just the only one that was vocal about it.
Right.
But because there's so much peace that you can't find in LA or any of the other West Coast cities.
Yeah.
People are moving to Wyoming.
Yeah. It's also like, I mean, Idaho is also a lot like that, but also Idaho is legitimately filled with a lot of psychos.
But the problem with Idaho is the further north you go, the colder it gets. So people aren't trying to deal with that. Wyoming just gets a shit ton of snow.
Yeah, I'm still gonna hang true to the fact that Idaho has a lot of weird people. The Unabomber was out of there.
Oh yeah, okay.
If you guys
would know that.
Yeah, if you. Okay.
Well, I'm not saying that like you would know. I'm saying because you're like into documentaries and all that shit.
I did watch a documentary on the Unabomber when lockdown started.
I knew it.
Anyway, also like there's this like really really good book. It's by it's like a New York Times bestseller, but also apparently everything is a New York Times bestseller. It's called Educated.
No.
It's essentially about a Mormon family who the father had like straight up like restricted his kids' ability to go to school because he was really worried about what the education system was gonna put into his kids' heads, right? So it talks about that, like she brings up the fact that she grew up in Wyoming, she grew up in Idaho. Yeah. There's so many stories about people literally going to Idaho for isolation.
That's weird.
So it's like Wyoming is like what? Probably underneath Idaho or something. I don't have a fucking
something
map,
like that.
Right? It's very.
I'm not a geography
I don't
major.
have a fucking map. I mean, if you give me a blank map, I would be able to tell
There's
you
Chicago,
where Wyoming is.
there's New York, there's LA. That's all you need to know.
No, honestly, you should probably know where Miami is and like.
Why?
Because Miami.
What are the Miamians gonna do? Nothing. Fucking Dolphins.
Anyway.
There's so many things wrong with that island.
Wyoming. Okay, so like, because Colorado gets a shit. People have been moving to Colorado for a while, right?
For the weed.
For the weed, but like also weed is legal now in Chicago. But don't move to Chicago, please. We have enough people.
No,
here.
dude, don't move to Chicago for the weed because we get taxed so heavily. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I people are telling me that I get. It's not 8%. That's all I know.
It's
not
like 10
8%.
or something
It's
yeah.
ridiculously high.
I think you mentioned that whenever you buy weed from your dispensary and from other dispensaries, it's like at least $10 is the tax.
No, 20.
20?
$20. Yeah. So it depends on what county you're in.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, Sunnyside here in
Schwarmerberg.
Schaumburg.
No, Schwarmerberg. Shh, don't tell them
And
where you
Joliet,
live.
because
Don't
it's
tell them where you live.
no, but like
Schwarmerberg.
Shut up.
Okay.
But Sunnyside and Joliet and Schaumburg and I think there's one more out in like in Elgin or some shit like that. Because they're
I think go on.
I think because it's Cook County and Chicago's in that.
Oh, that's true.
This it's whatever it's like $35 for whatever you're buying, and then it comes out to $55 at the end of the transaction.
Oh, right.
There's another place in Aurora and like the Will County and DuPage area, which if it's $35, it came out to $45. So, dude, it's so expensive.
It's crazy.
And then I have a friend.
But also, I will say the dispensaries in Chicago are nice.
Oh, absolutely.
From what I've seen.
Yeah. But the prices are so outrageous because I talked to a friend in California and I was like, yeah, this is like one for $50, and she's like, dude, we get one for $10. Like that's
in
it.
California?
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's like one for one.
It's been legal in California for a while too.
I understand that, but that's crazy, dude. That's nuts, dude. We get taxed so heavily for shit already. Like, anyways,
yeah. So going back to this, a lot of people have been moving to Wyoming because like people move to Colorado a lot. So Colorado is becoming a lot more populated, and then fucking no offense to anyone listening from Idaho, but Idaho is just like some weird shit, right? So
weirdos coming out of
Wyoming is right in the middle. Like it's like a middle ground,
sure.
Literally and figuratively. Right, so I think that's why I get that completely. Also, it makes sense for Leo because like Leo loves the environment, right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense that he would probably want to be closer to nature. Ashton Kutcher, okay, whatever. You ain't doing too much anyway.
You're the one who told me that Kutcher's got this whole like.
He does.
Dude, Kutcher's doing a lot then.
Dude. I mean, he's doing like I'm just kind of downplaying it because you know.
Get the fuck out of here.
Downplaying to be humble. I mean, but yeah, if you guys don't know, Kutcher like what his day job is now is he's like the co-chair or like head of something of Thorn, which is like a website where like developers will develop programs and algorithms and all this other shit to track down child traffickers.
Right.
The idea is like if a child is a rose, what protects a rose?
A thorn. Yeah.
Exactly. And so like you can literally donate money and like it goes all to these developers in order for it's crazy. It's amazing. He's like gone.
Any of this.
He's like gone in front of Congress and spoken about this. Like he is not quiet about this at all.
Right,
which is like it's crazy how you went from Kelso to fucking Punked.
Right.
To Mila Kunis' husband.
Yep.
To this. I love that. We love the growth, honey.
That is a lot of growth, honestly, because eventually you gotta realize like I can't be this vapid star. I can't just be this fucking. Like, I'm pretty sure he was offered something in the MCU, you know? Like, hey, you want to be a Marvel character? He's like, nah, I'm gonna really save the world.
Was it Topher Grace, like, the original Venom in, like, Spider-Man 3?
Yeah. It was just weird.
Which is so weird, especially since, like, Ed Hardy kills it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy
kills it
Ed
as
Hardy's
Venom.
the clothing brand.
Actually, I personally, I'm no offense to anyone in the Marvel world, I don't like Venom, the movie.
Well, okay, so Venom the movie isn't because of the the syndication and the rights and stuff like that. It's not part of the MCU. Sony owns it.
Okay.
So Sony at the time still owned Spider-Man rights.
Right.
They sold it back for Tom Holland. Right? Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were Sony. Then they sold it back with Tom Holland, but they kept Venom. So something about either this third third Spider-Man movie is going to introduce Venom in some way, or Venom's apparently getting a second movie.
Yeah, they had queued up because I actually just recently rewatched it, right? And I rewatched it because like I walked in. I walked in and somebody watching it. Like, one of my friends and I, we had gone out for, like, a Valentine's Day night, but we went back to her apartment. Her boyfriend was watching it, right? And so it was towards the end. It didn't matter because I already watched it. I literally only watched it for Riz Ahmed.
Oh, okay.
And he did fantastic. I mean, I shouldn't say fantastic. He does okay.
He does okay, yeah.
He is an amazing actor. Like, he does, like, have you ever watched The Night of?
No. I've heard a lot
that's
of
on
good things
HBO.
about it.
You should watch it. It's really good. Also, I haven't watched it. I just know it's good. I watched the first episode.
Bold-faced lie, huh?
Don't lie to your goddamn face. I know he's a good actor, though. I know. I've seen it. I watched the night of the first episode it came out, and then it was back when it was airing once a week, and so I just never had time to watch it again. But also, it's been out on air for like 5 years now, so I probably should just watch it now. Yeah, probably. But also, I watched Entourage 10 years later. What the fuck do you guys want from me?
It doesn't matter. Honestly, I didn't start watching The Office as much as I wanted to until it finally finished. Until it got on Netflix, I didn't watch The Office.
Yeah, you know what? I think the streaming culture has like really affected all of us now.
100%.
I think, like, the idea of, like, waiting a week to watch the next episode is just absurd.
Oh, dude. Oh, don't even get me started on that shit. You know why? Because Marvel's doing that right now with all the Marvel shows. I'm sorry, Disney Plus does that with all of their shows.
Aren't they doing that with Mandalorian, too?
So I'm always like, so basically, Disney Plus has this format of releasing an episode a week. And that's so fucking annoying to me because I can't do that.
Who do you think you are?
I personally, who, me?
No, like...
Oh, Disney... Yeah, who the fuck do you think you are, Disney Plus? Get your shit together. Yeah, right? I don't know why they do that. I don't know what the appeal behind it is. It might be to control the kids and make sure they don't binge watch, but no kid is really watching it like
literally that. Everybody else is doing it. So 100%. Shut up, Disney.
I'm always there are people that watch... the last show that I watched week to week was Game of Thrones. And that was the last season.
But also, like, Game of Thrones was doing that before streaming culture was a thing.
Correct. Because HBO Go, it was literally, apart from Disney Plus, HBO Go was the last streaming service to come out. That was this significant.
Also, like, because when did Game of Thrones come out? Like, 2007?
I was in high school.
Oh, yeah, 2007. Because, like, going back to this whole Entourage thing, like, obviously HBO is known for its slew of incredible shows. Yeah. But apparently they always make sure that they start their next hit show before their last hit show ends. Right. So like, they started Entourage before Sopranos, which is why there's like a little Sopranos story in there that makes complete sense, right? Yes. Again, it was current to the time. Yes. If they did that now, I'd be like, who the fuck is this? Second of all, so after Entourage is over, Game of Thrones had started, right? Correct. So it's kind of like, you know how you always get sad when you always have to finish a show, like, what are you going to watch now? Yeah. HBO had solved that problem. Yeah. So, Disney Plus, though... hit record on that. Moana. So Disney Plus, what they do is they release week by week, and people actually watch it week by week, and I don't. I'll wait until the entire season is released, and then I will binge it all. It's just easier to do that. It's just so much easier.
It takes just a day. Honestly, because it's typically only like 8 episodes, it only takes really 7 hours.
How long are these episodes? Like an hour?
The Mandalorian was anywhere between 40... That's the nice thing about The Mandalorian and like these Disney Plus shows. They don't have a set time. Some of the episodes are like 45 minutes, some of them are an hour. 55? Okay. Right, because it depends on the content of that episode. Yeah. But I'm still behind. So not right now, they're doing that with WandaVision. They're going to do that with Loki coming out next month. They're going to do that with Captain America and the Winter Soldier coming out like blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. Falcon and, you know what I'm talking about, Falcon and Bucky. But anyways, it's so annoying. I just want to watch the show. Yeah. Leave me alone. Yeah. Put it up.
That's the thing. It's like, again, who do you think you are? Every other streaming service just releases the whole thing. Yeah. I can't, and the only ones that don't are the ones that, like, the only shows that don't just come out all in one batch are the shows that, like,
are recorded in the moment, kind of deal.
Recorded in the moment, or are, like, literally streaming, or they're like not streaming, they're like live on shows This Is Us. This Is Us still comes out weekend. That actually I think was the last show that I've ever watched like episode by episode, week after week. And also, like, not to spoil, like, okay, there's like a quick thing about me with this show is like they immediately the first 1 or 2 episodes, the first episode of This Is Us is incredible. Right. The second episode they hint at something. What? I'm not gonna say what it is. Oh, okay. Because again, you're like, don't ruin everything for me.
I'm never gonna watch
I mean, fine. That's fine. It's episode 2. I I can't. Milo Ventimiglia, I think his name is.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Because he was in another show that I used to watch.
Gilmore Girls?
No.
Avi's watched Gilmore Girls.
No, he was in a superhero show.
Oh.
He was in that one superhero show that got canceled, and I will remember it later. But
I'll find it for you.
I'm
the one telling you the story, but I'll remember it later.
No, you keep telling the story.
Okay, but anyway, so like, also I watched This Is Us thinking it was a movie. Like
Really?
The way that it starts off in the beginning just reminds me. I think the whole idea is like the way it starts off in the beginning. It's just like starts off. It reminds me a lot of like that again the movie Valentine's Day or New Year's Eve, right? Where it says like, hey, like I think on the Valentine's Day movie, I think it starts off saying like. The day where most flowers are bought is February 14th and blah blah blah. Like it gives you this weird statistic.
Right.
So it starts off saying like, hey, like it says like maybe these many people share the same birthday as you, like blah 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 blah. And then it talks about 4 people that have the same birthday.
Sure.
Right. You come to realize that all those 4 people are related.
Oh, okay.
Right. So 3 of them, the younger 3,
yeah,
are. You find out that one of them is the father, and then the other 3 are his kids.
Okay.
Like, you learn all that, right? So
Sure.
There's this family dynamic that is immediately brought up, and it's such good acting the way that they actually do it, and I'm sorry for anyone that I ruined it for. It's so good
Is it
that
still
you're
going?
hooked. It's still going, yeah. It's still an active show.
Okay, so it's an active show.
Yeah, it's an active show, but I mean, it's the first 2 episodes, right? The second episode, they hint that the father dies.
Oh, wow.
And then the first 1-2 seasons, that's literally why you tune in every single fucking week, is to find out how he dies. And they finally tell you how he died. Like, literally, I think, like, 2 or 3 Super Bowls ago, they played it, like, after the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And
they marketed it as the episode you've been waiting for.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
and
was
then
it?
It was.
Oh, it was?
It was. And then I watched that episode, and I haven't watched the show since.
Oh, once you found out, you're like, I don't give a shit?
Yeah, I haven't, because, like, this is what I wanted. I wanted to know how he died. I got that. And then apparently, I think I watched 1 or 2 episodes afterwards, but it was just, like, not what I wanted anymore. Sure. And then I was told by my friends that they had completely gone off the rails. That's part of the problem with these drama shows. Yeah. Like, okay, so, I mean, again, such an incredible cast. Like,
Mandy Moore, Chrissy Metz, Milo Ventimiglia, Justin Hartley, Sterling K. Brown.
Sterling K. Brown is fantastic in that movie, in that show.
Yeah.
Like, beyond fantastic.
What else was he? He was in that show Heroes. I know you never watched it, probably.
Oh, yeah, with
Hayden Panettiere.
Hayden Panettiere?
Yeah,
oh my god, what is she up to?
I don't know. I know she became a mom. That was it.
Oh wow, good for her.
Yeah,
oh, by the way, this is all very off topic, but dude, the Britney Spears documentary. You haven't watched. I know you haven't watched.
Free Britney.
Yeah, I talked to you about this before the documentary came out.
Free Britney, though.
Yeah.
I'm not, that
free
wasn't
Britney.
like
free Britney, please, free Britney. But also just very much.
Isn't she free? Didn't she officially become free this week?
I think a judge has like granted her own rights.
Yeah.
Which, if you guys don't know, for the past like decade, Britney Spears has been like under legal conservatorship, which basically is like, if you're not a sound mind or body anymore, like you can sign over your rights and the right to make decisions on your behalf to someone else. It's usually reserved for people who are it's usually reserved for like kids and their parents. If your parents get to an age where they're very senile, they can't make their own decisions, they'll sign their rights away. A judge will sign their rights away to the children, right? Yep. In this case, Jamie's father, Jamie is the name of her father.
Oh, really?
Jamie, yeah.
Is that what her sister's name, Jamie Lynn Spears?
Yeah, dude. I realized this after watching the documentary. His name is Jamie, her name is Lynn. So the last daughter's name is literally Jamie Lynn. And I'm just like, okay.
Well, she's not the only Jamie. That was
Jamie Lynn
weird.
Sigler!
Yeah, Jamie Lynn Sigler. That was so weird. I'm like, well, you guys share a name.
Yeah, I was like, that's
It's still Jamie Lynn and an S. It was weird to me.
Literally, somebody had said that to me. Someone had mentioned Jamie Lynn Sigler this week. Right. And I just kept thinking, like, do you mean Spears?
That's what I thought, too.
Yeah.
And then, anyway, Jamie Lynn Sigler is in Entourage, if y'all are wondering what we're talking about. But the Britney Spears documentary is out. Watch it. Support Britney.
Well, yeah, and so that's the whole point of the documentary. Yeah. It was supposed to talk about, like, not only her rise to fame, but her crash and burn.
Right.
And then from her crash, how her father had taken over and how, like, she's been under this really strict conservatorship. Right. And how there have been people who have been petitioning for her to, like, leave it, to be released of it. Right. And I think just recently a judge just finally granted her that.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy.
I don't know. So from my understanding, though, she is of sound mind.
She is.
She's fully of sound mind. She's completely normal. Her dad's just keeping her under 100% watch because he's a freak.
Yeah, because he's a freak and like he wants
like
the money,
control, power,
and everything.
wants the money, and that
exactly.
shit. Okay.
Exactly.
Hayden Panettiere, by the way, was on a long-running show called Nashville from 2012 to 2018.
Oh, right.
And she hasn't done anything since.
I'll be honest, Hayden Panettiere looks like she'd be from Nashville.
I think she actually is.
Is she?
Let's see. Hayden Panettiere, tell me more about yourself. Not Nashville. Why am I looking that up? Hayden Panettiere, born in... No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
What'd you born
Damn,
in?
she's 31?
She look good for 31.
She's fine as hell.
She's not that much older than you.
No, she's a year older than me.
Your shot.
She's from New York.
New York.
New York. Yeah. So she is, dude, I had such a big crush on her when she was on Heroes. So
I feel like everybody did.
Yeah.
She was a lot of people's like childhood crushes.
Yeah, because like she had the superpower of like super strength and super healing.
Ooh.
So it was dope because she would try to hide it. She was like the popular girl in Heroes, if I remember.
Right?
She was the cheerleader in Heroes. She was a really popular girl, and she was trying to hide it, and then she was trying to like figure out her powers and shit like that. So it was dope. But then this Milo Ventimiglia guy was her friend, or something like that, and he had powers, and he was trying to help her. I don't know. Anyways, I don't remember Heroes 2, but that show got canceled, unfortunately.
Oh really? I thought it was a popular show. I feel like I heard it all the time.
But the issue was it wasn't heading anywhere. There was no storyline.
So it was one of those pointless movies.
Yeah,
like the show, like the movie I told you about.
Yeah.
Oh
the fucking Julia Roberts movie.
You guys. Okay, listen, we're gonna end this off by I have to tell you about this really stupid movie.
Yeah.
So like, I was very, very tired when I was watching this movie, but I couldn't get to sleep.
Yeah.
So I was hoping this movie could get me to sleep, right?
Yeah.
This movie I think was based out of the 80s.
Okay.
The only reason I watched it was because Julia Roberts is in it.
Yeah.
And the name of the movie is Mystic Pizza. It's on Netflix. I'm going to spoil it, and I really hope nobody watches it, does anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so the movie takes place in like this little fishing town in Connecticut, right? The movie literally opens up to a wedding. Julia Roberts is like a maid of honor.
I saw the preview, but I didn't understand it.
Yeah. Julia Roberts is like the maid of honor.
Yeah.
She's not the bride, so this is not Runaway Bride.
Right.
Because she eventually plays that same role in Runaway Bride, right? With opposite whoever she's also with in Pretty Woman. Right. So anyway, this girl like leaves. This girl who's getting this bride leaves. Right. You come to realize later that the Julia Roberts obviously is friends with this girl, but they're both co-workers as well at this little pizza shop called Mystic Pizza.
Okay.
Right? And so I think the name of the town is Mystic, Connecticut, right?
Sure.
And so Julia Roberts also has a little sister who's 17. I don't know how old Julia Roberts is. I don't know how old her friend is in this. I gotta say a little in her 20s, her early 20s, maybe 21, 22, whatever. But her little sister like 17, at least 18, and they all work in the same pizza shop.
Okay.
I know that she's 17 or 18 because she at some point her mom tells her other friends like, "Oh, my daughter is gonna go to Yale." Right, so she's got to be like a high school senior, right?
Sure.
She only got a partial scholarship to Yale, so the quick synopsis: it's literally about these three girls that work at a pizza shop, and it's about their three very distinct love lives, right? One of the girls' love lives is the fact that she ran away from her wedding, but she's still very much with this guy. Yeah. Like they just broke off a wedding, but they're still together.
Yeah.
Right. The other girl, the youngest one, the one that's 17 years old, I can't remember her name. I think it's Kat. Right, Kat. She got a partial scholarship to Yale, so her other thing is she wants to make up the rest of her money to go to school, so she's taking on a bunch of jobs. Like one of the things she does is she has a pizza shop. The other thing she's doing is she is going to be a babysitter. So they show the person she's going to babysit, or the parent, I should say. It's this very attractive white guy who's a real estate developer. And they immediately hit it off because, he mentions, oh, yeah, you're supposed to go to Yale, right? I was Yale 79.
Oh, okay.
Right? So,
he's already done and out and all that.
So, I think the movie was, in the early to mid-'80s. Yeah. So, he's, been out for, 10-plus years. So, again, he's got to be somewhere in his 30s. Yeah. Also, his daughter is 6 years old.
Damn.
So, and also, again, he's still married to his wife. The whole purpose was, his wife had to go to England for a few weeks to a couple months or so because of some business, right? They were not separated. There's little hints that maybe they were separated, but they were together. he's married, and, like, he's like, hey, I have a lot going on, I can't watch it by myself,
Right.
I just need some help, right?
Right.
Immediately, she kind of has a crush on him, and he's a good-looking guy, I will give it to her, he's a good-looking guy, but it's just, like, there's a lot of weird scenes going on in the movie, it's almost like a will they, won't they, and I'm just like, there's no fucking way. You're in your 30s, she's barely legal.
Yeah.
Also, you're married.
Yeah.
And, like, I think, like, there's like, a scene where, like, she asks this girl that ran away from her wedding, like, hey, do you mind babysitting this kid?
Yeah.
Bitch, that's your job. That's your job.
Jesus.
Where are you going that you need someone else to babysit
So it
for
sounds
you?
like it didn't make a lot of sense.
It didn't. But then the reason why she needed this girl to babysit for her was because she was going to go with this guy, the baby's father, to the property that he was developing, because apparently he has this really good night sky view. She wants to go to school for astronomy. They go there with a telescope, everything. Basically, they kiss, and you're assuming, the audience assumes that they have sex.
Oh, like it pans away.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think literally they start unbuttoning their clothes.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so, like, they come back, it's, of course, in typical 80s movie drama, it's fucking raining,
Yeah.
they come back, and of course, when they come back, the wife's back from England.
Oh.
Yeah, of course. And then, like, he does it, like, he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Like, he just pretends like this really weird, incriminating thing didn't just happen. And she, like, goes back home and she cries, like, he didn't even say anything, which is, like, this is how you can tell if she's young, because, like, she doesn't understand the implication that comes with this. Like, someone, like, you just think, it's kind of like how you would think, like, you know, like how we would think when we were younger. Like, if I liked a guy and we went out with his friends and he didn't say I was his girlfriend or anything, I would be really upset.
Yeah.
But also, that was, like, when I was 20.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The other girl, right? The other girl, the one that ran away from her wedding, she ran away from her wedding because she was too young, she wasn't ready to get married, but she still very much wants to have sex.
Okay, but what about Julia Roberts?
Okay, fine.
Screw that.
We'll go to Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts is by far the hottest girl in this group. They make it known that she's known as the hottest girl in the group and in the town, right? This town in general is not the richest community, so, like, for some reason, even all the houses are really rich too. It's like one of those typical, like, very weird communities, right? For some reason, this really, really rich guy comes into town for the summer or whatever. Apparently, like, he's taking a break from law school, so he just comes out there, and he immediately gets enamored by Julia Roberts. I mean, who couldn't? Who wouldn't?
Of course.
Right? So, I mean, he immediately gets enamored. They, like, go on a date, and it's really well. She loves it. They really click, basically, right? Towards the end of the movie, he wants to introduce her to her parents. And again, like, not only is he rich, it's not even just, like, rich. We're talking, like, old money rich. Like, his father is very well known. Definitely made a name for himself, right? They not go out to dinner. She comes over to his family's house for dinner, right? It's at that point, maybe 30 minutes left in the movie, that they decide to disclose to us that Julia Roberts is Portuguese. And the reason why we know that is because while she's at dinner, again, this is an extremely wealthy family, they have workers, right? They have waitresses and waiters and all this stuff, right? So, like, I think and mind you, it's a small family. It's, like, maybe two other siblings, the mom and the dad and the grandparents.
Yeah.
Right? One of the waitresses, like, comes down, like, to her, like, I think her name is Daisy, like, puts a plate down, like, hey, Daisy, how's it going? She's like, oh, hey, Teresa. And they proceed to have this conversation to the two of them, which seems like it should be, like, a little private.
Sure.
Right? I mean, it's not, nothing's said, but it just seems like it's, like, this private, like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And everybody is around the table hearing. It's a little awkward
Like,
that you're having a conversation with the two of you guys and all of us here.
Right.
I think the dad's finally like, Teresa is like, oh, yes, sir. She's like, oh, can you go get me something from here? And then she goes and she gets, and then of course, the typical racist grandparents are just like, it's so hard to find good Portuguese people these days.
Wow.
And then, like, not knowing that and, like, there's all this awkwardness at the table that it becomes clear that, like, oh, Julia Roberts is Portuguese.
Right.
Julia Roberts' last name is Arjo in this movie, which I'm like, am I supposed to fucking know that's Portuguese?
Right, exactly.
Like, I would have guessed, like, Spanish.
You gotta think, like, if this
Spanish
movie came out in the 80s, was there something going on with the Portuguese people?
Well, that was
or,
the thing,
with
like,
Brazil or something?
they waited an hour into the movie to disclose that all of these girls are Portuguese, and then they ram it down your fucking throat that they're Portuguese.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, she runs out and she figures out, like, oh, it just seems like you're dating me as an act of rebellion to your father.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Like, the rich guy takes the poor Portuguese girl? I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on?
Damn, what the fuck? I'm gonna check these real quick.
Yeah.
We're good. We'll turn that off. Stop.
And it's just...
Alright, it'll stop. Portuguese.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I literally was so confused.
Yeah.
I was like... I'm waiting for you to come back.
Oh, shit. Okay, you were so confused?
I was so genuinely confused.
Yeah.
About, like, why Portuguese? Is there, like, a huge Portuguese population out in Connecticut that I don't know about? Probably not, right? I didn't take the time to look, but probably not. I just thought it was very awkward.
The only reference that I have to that, and I'm pretty sure I'm misquoting this, but so the show Family Guy, animated show Family Guy, takes place in Rhode Island, and
why is Rhode Island not a road nor an island? Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber.
That's all we got time for today, folks. Have a good one. This is What Are You Doing Here podcast. I'm Avi. This is Punny McPunny over here. Shut the fuck up.
See you later, everybody.
No, but okay. So Family Guy takes place in Rhode Island, and I remember there was an episode, and I'm probably misquoting this. It probably wasn't Portuguese, but basically, Brian gets kicked out of a restaurant. Brian the dog gets kicked out of a restaurant, and he yells, "Oh yeah, that's real authentic Thai food. You got 14 Portuguese guys in the back."
So maybe.
I don't know. And it was an early episode, so it was like early 2000.
Yeah, so maybe like in that's that northeast region, like
Maybe.
there's a lot of Portuguese people.
Maybe.
I didn't see that when I went to Boston. But also Boston is like known for its Irish population.
No, the thing is, I don't. This is gonna sound so fucking offensive. I can't tell if you're Portuguese. You look.
Alright, we'll see you later,
I know, right?
Honestly, yeah, like, do Portuguese... Okay, whatever, we're not gonna say anything.
Dude, I mean, I
Also,
couldn't
like,
tell.
also
Like,
you-
I had a guy come over on this past weekend, and I thought he was Indian. Turns out he's Bengali. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know that.
Okay.
There's no difference between us.
Well, yeah, I guess, like, Indian and Bengalis are, like...
Indian, Bengalis, Pakistanis, you're all the same.
Well, no, I think, like...
We're all the same.
I guess,
You're
like,
all the
Indian and Bengalis are, like, as close as, like, you know, Spanish and Portuguese.
Probably.
Right? Also, if you came up to me speaking Portuguese, I would just immediately just assume that you're Brazilian.
Yeah,
That's
that's my thing,
actually,
too.
outside of Portugal, that's the first thing I think of as a Brazilian. Also because I watch a lot of 90 Day Fiancé.
One of the really fucking racist things that used to happen back in my retail days was...
That you would say one of the racist things that I've said. I was like, what the fuck are you
it
talking
used to happen
about?
back in my retail days. So I used to work for Samsung,
Uh-huh.
but I was third-party Samsung inside Best Buys.
Uh-huh.
So I was Samsung rep inside of a Best Buy in Aurora, and what would happen is every single summer, I worked there for 4 years, and for 3 of those summers, there would be a bus of Brazilians that for some reason come to our store. I don't know why they wouldn't go to the
Where were you working from again?
Best Buy in Aurora.
Okay, Aurora.
Yeah.
Aurora.
So this is like 40 minutes from O'Hare Airport where they're probably landing.
Okay.
And you would think there's a bunch of Best Buys closer there. Why don't they go to those Best Buys?
Yeah.
But for some reason,
But also, like, if you're coming to Illinois, like...
Why are you going to Aurora?
Chicago is literally 40 minutes
Yeah.
out from O'Hare.
Yeah,
so I would just
exactly.
go to Chicago.
Anyways, the point is, the GM of the store,
Uh-huh.
he would say, he would schedule, because apparently it was a tour bus company that would schedule it with the Best Buy, and he would round up all the Spanish speakers to come in and work, and every single year the same thing was said. Dude, we don't speak Portuguese, and Portuguese is not Spanish. We don't know what they're saying. And he'd be like, yeah, but it's the same thing. Come on, man. Come on.
Oh my god.
Fucked up every
That's
year.
insanely
Every
fucked up.
fucking year.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
And the worst part about it is I'm brown, so sure enough, they thought I'm Portuguese or I can translate. And I'm like, I'm the wrong kind of brown, dude. Stop coming to me.
Yeah.
The worst is when Spanish people come up to me and they start speaking Spanish to me. And I'm like, I don't speak Spanish.
Dude, same
They
here.
look at me like I'm the most disappointed
Yeah, they're like,
Mexican
what,
in
you
the
don't
world.
speak
You don't speak your own language?
I do. We don't have the same language.
I'm like, I'm Indian. Oh.
Well, no, dude, I told you it's happened to me before that, like, random Spanish-speaking men will come up to me, just flat out speaking Spanish, like,
I don't know what the
like,
fuck is going on.
Like, keep walking. I ain't stopping. Hell no. I ain't stopping. I don't stop for no man.
No, dude, I get that all the time. And I've only translated from Hindi Urdu twice. And one time was for a lady who knew how to speak English, 100%. She just didn't want to.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even want to speak English.
But you don't speak Urdu that well.
Hey!
either.
We're not talking about that.
What?
We're not talking about that.
Anyways, back to our original point, which was Kim and Kanye's breakup. Kim and Kanye breaking up is very monumental right now because, final thing I'm going to say, every single rapper that has gotten out of the Kardashian family has done very well for himself after a few years. So, Kanye, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, I wish you the best, sir. I really want you to get back on that high horse and just fuck it up.
It's true.
The Kardashians are a cult. Yeah. I fully believe that. Especially if Kris Jenner thinks more about profiting off of her daughter's sex tape than trying to cover it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, it's in the business world, it's a smart move.
I mean, she probably tried to capitalize on the whole Khloe, Tristan, Jordan Woods thing too.
Probably, she probably tried to capitalize on every moment.
She probably was the one that got Jordan on Red Table Talk.
Probably.
Who knows?
How bizarre.
All right, Avi, I think that's all we got time for.
That's all we got time for today, though. Hey, we're back. Yeah, I hope we're regularly posting from now on.
Yeah, we will. You know what? We made it easier for you guys to see us now.
Yes.
We're on Spotify.
Ooh, that is the big news. Yes, I totally forgot about it. We should have started with that, folks. We are officially on every single platform that you can possibly think of. We started with originally just SoundCloud. We're on SoundCloud, but we're probably going to be getting off that pretty soon because, I mean, I don't really think anybody
we know SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah, we know SoundCloud rappers, except for me. Video is on YouTube, officially on Spotify, officially on Apple Podcasts, officially on Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Alexa, Deezer, Stitcher.
Is it thing?
And I feel like, oh no, hit that. Whoops, technical difficulties. Deezer, Stitcher. I feel like I'm missing one. Basically, wherever the main podcast you listen to, except Audible, which I don't know if.
I think Audible is like
Amazon, right?
Yeah, Audible is like different now.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's just for books. We're not on Pandora.
I only listen to podcasts.
You're such a fucking liar. I will tell you right now what we're actually on.
Okay, but
it's going to be really fast.
The point is, if you're listening to us here on SoundCloud, you can listen to us everywhere. But also, the real important part is we're on video now.
Yes.
You can see us being stupid with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
You can see Ayesha being stupid.
Hey!
I mean, it's okay.
I will throw this water bottle at him. If this video gets one like, I'll throw this water bottle at him.
Don't do that.
It's gonna be me.
It's so easy.
It's gonna be me.
Yeah, she's gonna like her own video.
Did you see what I did with my Instagram story?
Yes, I did.
If I get one,
You're so hilarious.
I put up a picture of me and I said, if one person votes yes on this poll, I'll go get bubble tea. And then I was the one person. And I screenshot it, I put it up, and I said, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I would say no more. All right, officially, we are on YouTube. YouTube's our main one. Watch the videos. We made some hilarious Halloween videos from back then. Hilarious and kind of dark as well.
I thought we was special. Avi's editing is superb, y'all.
But officially, we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, which is weird. I don't know who listens to iHeartRadio. Deezer, and then we're on Apple Podcasts, but Apple Podcasts also filters to Overcast, Castro, Castbox, and Podfriend if you're watching or listening on any of those, which I think it's all the same thing at the end of the day.
Sure, on everywhere.
Yeah, so we're literally in all the main places. Don't ask me to put it on Pandora. I will literally block you on everything. I'm blocking you.
Okay, but we're also on Instagram.
We are on Instagram. We are officially brand new. W.A.Y.D.H Pod.
Yeah, W.A.Y.D.H P.O.D.
W.A.Y.D.
So
Pod.
much easier.
So much easier than what are you doing here, Pod?
Exactly.
Follow us on W.A.Y.D Pod. Follow us on our individual Instagrams as well. I am at the Chicago Avi.
I thought you were gonna spell it.
I'm not gonna spell the Chicago Avi. It's written right here.
I'm at Life of I. Like Life of Pi, but it's not Pi, it's I.
Ooh, that's always going to be our ending, for sure.
It is, alright.
But follow us on W.A.Y.D Pod, follow us on Chicago Avi, Life of I. Follow, like, subscribe. We got to be one of those people.
Yeah, hit that smash button.
Smash that like button.
I'm not a YouTuber. Anyway, alright.
You are a YouTuber.
Alright.
Officially, you are a YouTuber.
Alright. Hey, Avi.
Hey, Aisha. No, stop. We got enough!